Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is izzati afiqah binti azlan. In this video, I will introduce to you about AirAsia. AirAsia was found in 1993 by Tony Fernandez and his partners with a mission to make flying accessible to a wider audience, revolutionizing the aviation industry within its affordable air travel offerings. AirAsia employs a low-cost carrier business strategy and a point-to-point system to cut expense and provide affordable fare, disrupting the conventional airline business by prioritizing efficiency and cost optimization. The launch of AirAsia X, a long-haul flying subsidiary, allowed the airline to enter new markets and serve a wider range of passengers, expanding its route network both within and outside of Asia. AirAsia collaborates with regional affiliates like Thai AirAsia and Indonesia AirAsia to boost its regional reach and solidify its position as a well-known low-cost airline. The airline's market positioning as a budget-friendly carrier has attracted a loyal customer base, appealing to both leisure and business travel and challenging the notion that air travel must be expensive. AirAsia has received numerous accolades and recognition within the aviation industry for its commitment to customer satisfaction, innovative, and amenities. The COVID-19 pandemic presents significant challenge to AirAsia, including a drastic drop in passenger demands, travel and lockdown measures, resulting in substantial financial hits and the need for cost-cutting measures. To navigate through the crisis, AirAsia implement strategic measures such as strengthening its financial position through cost-saving innovation, renegotiating contracts, and exploring government support and financing options. The airline focused on domestic and regional market with strong demand, restarting its road network and relocating resources to adapt to the changing landscape. The airline focused on domestic and regional market with strong demand, restarting its road network and relocating resources to adapt to the changing landscape. AirAsia prioritized the health and safety of passengers and employees, like implementing strict health protocol, enhanced cleaning and sanitization measures, social distancing guidelines, and mandatory mask wearing. Workforce management became a challenge for AirAsia, leading to measures such as pay cuts, furloughs, and job loss, as the airline balanced the need for cost reduction with employee welfare and motivation. Navigating rapidly changing government regulations, travel restrictions, and recovery patterns across different markets require AirAsia to closely monitor and adapt to the evolving situation, making quick decisions and maintaining operational flexibility. AirAsia illustrates its digital transformation effects, leveraging technology to enhance the customer experience, optimize operation, and introduce contactless process, mobile apps, and improve digital communication channels. Despite the challenge, AirAsia remains resilient and focused on recovery and future growth, aiming to mitigate the impact of the pandemic and continue its transformative impacts on the aviation industry.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is zulaika saaban. Today, I would like to share you about our topic, which is AirAsia challenging during pandemic. So my part is planning, and I will give 4 points, which is crisis management and business, cash flow and financial, safety healthy measure, and last but not least, travel demand and the implementation of travel restriction. So my first point is crisis management and business. So crisis management and business continue planning that AirAsia establish a dedicated crisis management and team to monitor the evolving situation, development business continuing plan and assess risk. Include this plan strategy for financial ensure the healthy safety for passenger and employee and operational adjustment. So, in order to maintain the cash flow and financial, aggressive cost-saving intentions such as optimize and cash flow management were also used. All sections of the film entail reviewing and decrease non-essential spending and contract with supplier, dealing capital expenditure and maximum operational costs. So, as the result, safety and healthy measures were implemented to protect passenger and employee. This is creation of incentive healthy and safety process in according with global standard and religion law. This required determine the appropriate tool, education staff, putting in the place improve cleaning technique, and putting in the place social measure. So last but not least, my last point is travel demand and the implementation of travel restriction. However, because of the fall in travel demand, AirAsia had a network plan to certificate auto-planning. The airline decreased the number of the flight per day, concentrated of running virtual, vital and popular route, and suspended certain another. Analysis travel, limitation and capacity while alter router based on market condition. So, the conclusion in AirAsia adapt to planning the process to respond to unpredicted challenge of pandemic. Also, focus was on optimized resource, ensuring safety, maintaining customer trust, and implementing flexible strategy to navigate the evolving landscape of the industry. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Good day to Dr. Nusra. I am saidatul aqilah will be present about organizing. In management, organizing is the process of planning how to use people, tasks and resources in a systematic way to fulfill an organization's goals and objectives. An organization's activities also can be improved by it, resource usage also can be optimized, and efficient workflow also can be encouraged, which will make it possible for people to cooperate in teams to achieve common goals, reduce conflict, and improve performance. On 2020, COVID-19 pandemic has impacted across all industries, including airline sector, especially AirAsia. Some of the problems are worldwide travel restrictions, a decline in demand for air travel, and operational delays have all presented difficulties for airlines. Airlines have taken many actions to modify and set up their operations throughout the pandemic. Due to border closures, AirAsia from Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines was unable to operate international flights. This has led to Indonesia AirAsia recommends against taking external flights because of the significant danger of COVID-19. The same thing happens for AirAsia in other nations, which is to operate only internal flights while waiting for borders to reopen. AirAsia will be able to make money only after the borders reopen because of individuals who will start in other countries definitely will start looking for tickets to return home. Due to the low prices AirAsia offers, the majority of passengers will choose AirAsia and allow them to make a small profit. The next point is Tan Sri Tony Fernandez, the Chief Executive Officer of AirAsia, declared that the pandemic problem is the worst problem they ever had. They have also used bank loans and proposal weighing just to increase their airline capital. Due to this problem, Sabah Development Bank Berhad is thought to have secured 300 million ringgit Malaysia for AirAsia Group Berhad to run its local operations, including paying employees' salaries and leasing aircraft. At last, they have to eliminate more than 300 employees. The worldwide pandemic has a negative impact on AirAsia in many ways. Due to AirAsia's loss, several staff had to be let go. As the CEO, Tony Fernandez look out for the health and well-being of employees and also find solutions to their problems. Before an employee is laid off, management must conduct a thorough investigation. The management must take into consideration whether the laid-off worker has commitments like family responsibilities or debt, like a home loan that must be repaid. The management also needs to go further than usual and arrange for counseling sessions for the laid-off employees.
AirAsia is known for having low fares and good quality of services. AirAsia is a global air travel provider that started its flight in Malaysia. Due to the recent outbreak of COVID-19, many countries in the world banned airlines entry from other countries when the virus started spreading rapidly worldwide. AirAsia has suffered from a great loss as it reported quarterly loss in April, May, and June. AirAsia operates in a challenging environment with a theory where people fly with domestic flight to holidays and meet relatives. AirAsia faces less demand for the ticket due to the lockdown restriction by many countries and also faces a smaller size market for now. Because of the global pandemic, many countries only allow domestic flights, and it made AirAsia lay off as much as 10% of their 24,000 of their staff. During this COVID pandemic, many countries closed their border. Thus, Datuk Seri Tony Fernandez thinks creatively to conquer this hassle by offering two options to the ones stricken by the journey regulation. All AirAsia clients that make flight booking before 17 April 2020 with departure date between 23rd March and 30 June 2020 will now be able to get a refund in the form of credit account or unlimited flight changes. Credit accounts were extended by 2 years, which attract people indirectly to fly with AirAsia in upcoming months to redeem to credit account. AirAsia takes safety measures to ensure the safety of its own employees. According to their Safety and Health Manual, AirAsia has implemented a Safety Management System (SMS) to improve its aviation safety through risk and hazard management. Other than that, AirAsia implements SMS throughout the organization by having safety meetings. These safety meetings are held regularly. Those meetings are called Safety Review Board, SRB meetings, Safety Review meetings, SRM, Safely Action Group, SAG meetings. Besides this meeting, each department has its safety meetings with their head of department, which is sealed by the CEO himself. Besides this, the airline make it compulsory for identified operational personnel, supervisor, manager, senior manager, accountable manager to go through safety training. AirAsia is taking extra measures to ensure the safety of the working staff. Cabin crew are given protective equipment on the aircraft such as masks and gloves. Even production staff will be monitored according to COVID-19 guidelines. AirAsia believes that safety is the most crucial component of the aviation industry, and they will strive to ensure this every important mode of connectivity meets all required health and safety standards for both the employee and guests. Finally, the secret of AirAsia to success is Fernandez's leaderships. He dared to dream and realize them. He spread out to the world of the tour to an entirely new world of people. Thereby, he had an enterprise that would ultimately become the essential low-value airlines inside the international. In addition, AirAsia was in much crisis during pandemic but did not stop AirAsia's CEO from dreaming. He dared to dream and resulted in ongoing deliberation with a few parties for joint ventures and collaboration. AirAsia expects that more third-party investors in certain group business segments can be made this way.
AirAsia, like many other airlines, faced significantly challenge during the COVID-19 pandemic, which significantly impacted the aviation industry. AirAsia also implemented several measures to navigate the pandemic and ensure the company's survival in terms of management control during the pandemic. AirAsia implemented extensive cost-cutting measures to reduce expenses and conserve the cash flow, which this will lead the employee salaries being reduced, the unpaid leave program being implemented. During the COVID-19 pandemic, AirAsia experienced a drop in passengers' demand, which resulted in the profit drop. The company implemented various of cost-cutting measures to reduce the expenses and conserve cash flow to alleviate the financial stress. For example, AirAsia implemented salary reduction for its employee, including the management and staff, by lowering their wage bill. Understand that AirAsia conduct a true review of all its operating expenses to identify areas where saving could be realized. This involves various of categories such as marketing, administration, and operational costs. When AirAsia reviewed its operating expenses during the COVID-19 pandemic, the objective was to identify areas where cost saving could be achieved. These can be identified from the administration expenses. For example, AirAsia are likely review its administrative costs, including the office rent, utilities, office supplies, and other overhead expenses. The company may have to assess the needs of physical office space and explore the alternative, such as remote work and management, to reduce the rental and utility costs. These management control measures were crucial for AirAsia to adapt the some of challenging circumstances. The action taken by company were aimed at preserving cash flow, maintaining financial stability, and many more.
AirAsia's pioneering low-cost carrier model has revolutionized air travel, making it affordable and accessible. Despite challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemics, the aims demonstrated resilience through strategic measures, health protocol, and digital innovative. AirAsia focused on recovery and growth, prioritized cost reduction, monitoring market trends, and ensuring employees' welfare will be crucial for long-term success.